Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As I said, a stitch with me, and we're working on my Winnie the Pooh one that I'm going to do. Sorry about the crinkle, but I wanted to show you. This one, the one I'm going to do Logan's details on for his birth and stuff. The day he was born, his weight, what time he was born. I can't remember what else I put on Meadows. I did her name. I did her date of birth. I did her weight. That might have been it, you know. I can't remember. Ouch. So how are you all? Helps if you guys can see what I'm stitching, really, doesn't it? I apologise that this stitch with me is a little bit late. I have been busy this week. I've applied for a teaching assistant course online. It is an online course is what I mean. When I applied, they sent me 2 assessments that I needed to complete. Oh my gosh, I tell you what, it just takes me back to doing English at school. I had to imagine that I run a company. It didn't say whether it was mine or whoever's. It just says you run a company. You've got to email a notice to all staff. Since the pandemic, it's all been done remotely, and you know, hold on, one underneath a little loose. There we go. Just to let the staff know that since the pandemic and everything's been run remotely, we're going to downsize the office. So they give you an address, kind of an address of where it's going to move to, and you've got to put in this email all the details about it, what day it'll be opening. So they give you a time. They say, right, this is going to be the date and whatever. This is the address. And now you need to write an email and let them all know. Let them know stuff like the facilities it has, so like car park, is it on a bus route, what about food, canteen, or you know, whatever. And it had to be between 250 and 300 words. Thankfully the thing they sent it me on, it counts for you. Yeah, I think I did 260 something words. Apparently it's just to make sure that, you know, this is the course for you. I'm not quite sure what my English has got to do with it. Mind you, I suppose if I wasn't necessarily British born, English might not be my first language, so I suppose that would let them know about that, really, wouldn't it? So yeah, I've done my 2 assessments. My second one was just a random bunch of questions about my confidence in certain things. How confident are you that you know more than 5 types of abuse? Now, the course I just did a few weeks ago, we did all about the different forms of abuse and everything, so that went to 10 because I already know all that. It's funny really, but you don't, when she was like talking about the different forms of abuse, and we were writing them down and stuff, it's just some of them just don't occur to you. I mean you've got the obvious. You've got the domestic violence, which is physical abuse. You have mental abuse, which is someone who doesn't necessarily use their fists or anything, but it's like mind games and just, yeah, they put you down all the time. So that kind of mental abuse. Then there's also financial abuse, which I don't know, I'm not sure if I'm just not aware that people do it, or I just didn't think it was a form of abuse, but it is, where one partner controls the finances, and you know, you don't get to just go out and spend, you know, the household money. Then obviously you've got the sexual abuse, which is sad, but it happens more than people, I think, realise. Yeah, I don't think we need to say too much about that one. So that's physical, emotional, sexual, financial. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, I can't remember. Oh, there was a few. It's just gone right out my head, honestly. I did know them. Actually, we'll drop in and do that one. I'm trying to think. I'm not sure. Anyway, that was one of the questions. No, missed. And then it was just general, like, how confident am I about, you know, working as part of a team, and do you know, are you confident you can tell me why schools have policies and regulations? And oops. Yeah, that was more of a general. The other one, the English bit, was a bit, because I have to kind of, because they want so many words. I mean, 250 doesn't sound a lot, but when you're writing, it actually is. So I was having to kind of expand my sentences and give a little bit more detail, and yeah. But that's all good. They're supposed to ring me now within the next 48 hours from yesterday when I handed them in. So we'll wait. I tell you what, me and my kids, we were wetting ourselves the other night. In my upstairs toilet, I have obviously a toilet roll holder, but you've got these two brackets that fit on the wall, and then you've got this spring-loaded bar that sits between them, so you squeeze it, pull it out to change the toilet roll. Yeah, I finished the toilet roll, so I'd already got up and thought, I'll change the toilet roll. So I flushed the toilet, pinged out the toilet roll holder thing to take the toilet roll off, and it pinged straight out of my hands and down the toilet while it was flushing, and my hand went into that toilet super fast. I wasn't meant to go that far, never mind. Yes, don't worry, I did wash them straight after, but I missed. When the toilet stopped flushing, it wasn't there, so Ellie and Riley were in stitches laughing at me. And I was just in stitches because I just couldn't believe that it just pinged out like that. You know, I've been here 13 years. No. Hold on. 15 years this year, I think. Gosh, that's gone fast. Anyway, you know, and that toilet roll holder's been on that wall for pretty much most of that. And that's the first time ever I've known it to just ping out of my hands and fly into the toilet. Anyway, I went downstairs. I said, you're not going to believe this, to Rob. And I was trying to tell him while wetting myself, laughing. And I told him, like, it had gone down the toilet. He goes, no way did it flush. I said, well, it's not in the toilet. We'll put it that way. Coffee. Anyway, he goes, I'll have a look. He said there's no way it went all the way, especially around the U-bend. So up he comes into the toilet. His hand goes and round the back, and out pops in his hand the toilet roll spring plastic thing. He said, I told you, it wouldn't have gone round the U-bend. It's too long and straight. So obviously then he washed his hands and washed all of it off and put it back on, and I've been ever so careful ever since then not to do it again. Hilarious, absolutely hilarious. It could only happen to me. Oops. So, what have you guys been up to? Fill me in. My last couple of weeks has been eventful. Ellie's, it looks like her knee's actually not giving way much really anymore. So it looks like, oops, physio can be done with in the next 2-3 weeks maybe. We'll have to see. Oh, I was meant to go and fill them in. Never mind. It's hard trying to hold this because this just wants to turn. What else have we been up to? The kids enjoyed Easter. Lots of chocolate, which I'm surprised they didn't gorge on, if I'm honest. They surprised me. Come on, thank you. Sometimes tying this in can be a nightmare. Do you know what I've seen on TikTok? VIP cross stitchers got their own thing. I don't know if sorry guys, I've just knocked you. I don't know if like the others have on One Day Saving, but anyway, I've seen a thing where, sorry, I had the needle in my mouth. They actually tie in their ends on the front, but theirs doesn't look quite as gappy as mine. It actually seems like they use 4 strands instead of 3. The coverage is perfect. Right, let's get this next half in. Let me just untwist this thread. There we go. Get out. Last time I spoke to you guys, no, not the last time. It might have been the time before. I remember saying I was a bit nasally. And I tell you what, just a couple of days after that video, I came down with flu, I swear. It was awful. There's a lot of walking around upstairs. I don't know if they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, schoolwork. There's a lot of walking around. But yeah, they took it in behind, but theirs seems rather not so gappy as mine. Oops. No. I have touched quite a few projects this week. I have amazed myself. I have just been in the mood for stitching, especially my counted pieces. I restarted one. I don't think I showed it you in my last floss tube. I don't know if I will stitch 2 of it, keep the first fabric, but yeah, I switched the fabric. Not my Mickey as Artist one, I restarted that one. I've restarted my Star Wars one as well. And that was the one I not my last floss tube, the one before. I couldn't find it. I know I'd worked on it, but I couldn't for the life of me figure out what I'd done with it. I have to bend this, hold on. But yeah, I found it now. And I literally must have just been skimming past it when I've gone through my bags. Daft. My mum used to say you can't see the wood for the trees, or you can't see the trees for the forest, whatever. Yeah, sometimes you're looking for something and it's right there in front of you. Hey, come on. Poor Logan. I got a photo from my son the other morning. Well, it looks like I'm skipping work to go to the hospital, he said, and he sent me a photo of poor Logan's face. Oh my goodness. He has eczema, so I did text him and say that his eczema flared really bad. His face was swollen, and he had these massive red patches around both eyes, and just looked like a bit of a rash, if I'm honest. And I said, is it his eczema? He said, no, don't think so. I can't remember what he did say now after he got back. But they'd given him something for it, but bless him, he looked a mess. And he just woke up like that, apparently. Reese had got him up for nursery or whatever, and he was just, bless the little guy. Yeah, I think he's okay now. I haven't heard from Reese since, but I know he's been busy working, and I can smell cut grass. I've noticed all the pavements that have got like patches of grass beside them. They've started to mow all them the last week or so, which means spring is definitely in the air. And the smell of cut grass, it's one smell I've always loved. It's a good job I don't have hay fever, if I'm honest. Oh my goodness, my dad, excuse me, give me a second. Oh, heartburn or indigestion, or both. There we go, coffee. He told me a little while ago that the dog that him and his wife had sadly had to be put down. This is going back, oh my gosh, 4, 5, 6 months maybe. And although it was devastating to them, they waited a little while, and then they got offered a German Shepherd, a rescued German Shepherd. And, or did they just go to a kennel? I'm not sure, they might have heard about it. But they acquired this female German Shepherd dog. She's not short-haired, but she's not a full-on long-haired either. And my dad was like, yeah, we'll take her on. She was only, what, 8 months, 9 months, roughly, at the time when they took her on. And he said to me, because I've grown up with my mum and dad having German Shepherds all my childhood. We had 3 of them all together. So yeah, he was like, I'll bring her over one day and, you know, you can see her. And then out of the blue, I'm just sitting here doing what I do. And my phone rings, and it was my dad. And I'm like, hello. He says, I'm outside. I've got someone to meet you. Oh my gosh. I was out that front door. She is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And she's so feisty. My dad says, yeah, we're trying to work on that. And one of the neighbourhood cats, his name's Milo, he saw Mia, which is what my dad and his wife have called the dog. And And I swear Milo was teasing her. He'd sit for a while where she could see him. And she was getting antsy, like, let me off the lead, go on, let me off the lead. And then after a while, she'd settle down a little. And then he'd move closer. And it was just like he was teasing her. You can't get me, I know you're on a lead. Oh, and she was pulling my dad left, right and centre. Come on, let me go. Oh, she is absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, feisty. My dad's wife, bless her. She got jumped up a few times. But Tyler was not impressed. He was at work and he wants to buy a German Shepherd dog. But yeah, I told him, I said, you missed someone today. He said, who was that? And I said, Mia. And the look he gave me. He's like, you better ring your dad and tell him you better bring her back at some point when I'm at home. He really wants a German. I'd love a German. I loved my mum and dad's Germans. And then Tyler has his first driving lesson next month. He is super excited for that. I remember my first driving lesson. I was so nervous. But then 33 lessons later, and he just suddenly pipes up, you're ready for your test. And oh my gosh, my nerves kicked in again then. Because I'd gotten so comfortable, I think, driving with my instructor. And then when he says, I think you're ready for your test, boom, it's like running into a brick wall. But yeah, my first lesson, I was so nervous. So I imagine Tyler will be as well. But we have a little area near here, which is full of industrial units. And it's quite quiet on the roads down there. So that's where they tend to take you on your very first lesson, where there's not many cars. You know, you're not going to bump into someone else or... yeah. I miss driving. I miss the freedom of it. Just, you know, get in the car and go. When me and Robbie used to have a car, we'd go to the beach, have a weekend, or, you know, just out for the day. We went to Chester once. This is before we had any of the kids, mind. And there's a couple of theme parks not too far from where we are, probably about an hour's drive, maybe a bit more for the other one. But yeah, we went there a couple of times, and I look back now at those theme park rides and I think, oh my gosh, because I've heard so many accidents, you know, well, I was an adult then, but as an older adult, you know, I've seen so many things on the news about these accidents on rides and stuff, and I just think how lucky I was when I was 18, 19, that nothing ever happened like that. It's weird, isn't it, how you think about things. And now, when I think about roller coasters and stuff, and I feel a knot in my stomach, it's like, do I trust it? I remember once there was a story about, I think she was 9. They were going on, they call it the rapids, I think. You know, you get that little round raft thing that you all sit in. You've got your own seat, and it goes down the rapids and the water thingies, whatever. And she stood up while this thing was moving, which she should not have done, because that's just one of the rules of being in these things. You sit and you stay sat. But when she got up, she toppled, she fell out, and she got caught underneath the raft, and she drowned. There was no saving her by the time they got to her. Bless her. And it was so simple. So simple. And I've gone on that ride so many times in my life. It's crazy. And then there's another one the 7-Up or the Shockwave or something, it's called like that. Now it's kind of a stand-up ride, but in a sense it's not, because you have a seat that sits that way and it goes between your legs, so you kind of stood up, but that's there for you to, so you can't slide out of your harnesses, essentially, I suppose. Now, I've got the needle in my nose, so I'm sorry if I sound a bit mumbly. I heard of an accident going on there. The first car got stuck with no one on it, and they let the second car go, and it slammed straight into the back of the other cart that was just sitting on the tracks. Fortunately, there was no one in the front one, but I know it did a heck of a lot of damage to the people in the front row especially. I'm sure one of them had to have her legs, or a leg amputated, I forget. But it was really bad, and I just think I've been on that ride so many times. It scares me now. It does actually scare me now. Things we're naive to as kids or young adults. It's funny. Oh, right, did I finish that? Yeah, pretty much. Tuck it in. Don't pull it all away. And another ambulance. I don't mind living near an ambulance station, right? But obviously there's lots of ambulances that come and go from there during the day. And then as you're walking up and down the road, let's say it's coming from behind you, going the same way that you're walking, you don't know it's there. And then just as they get to the side of you, I swear they do it on purpose, they put the sirens on. They did it this morning. I think it was this morning. I've been busy since then. But yeah, it makes me jump every time. And I'm sure they sit there laughing. I probably would as well, if I'm honest. But yeah, it makes me jump out my skin. I better drink that coffee. It's probably nearly cold now. Helps if I keep it in frame and if I don't poke it in the wrong hole. Up there, thank you. Riley keeps trying to talk me into playing a game with him on the VRs. I keep saying no. Not a chance. Took so long to get rid of that dizzy, sick feeling last time. I don't even want to go there again. You can tell the sun's come out. It's gone really warm in here. It's crazy. It's been nearly half an hour. Oh yeah, my coffee. I did just say that, didn't I? Way! It's a good job that needle's attached. Oh no, I've got a knot. I don't think I'm going to get that undone unless I get another needle out. Because it's a proper knot. Yep. Let me just... Where did I put it? There it is. Let me just get this knot undone. Got my glasses on so I can see. Poke that through there. Give them both a little tug. It might not have it properly, but it might have it just enough to pull it apart. Hold on. There we go. Okay, try not to stick it in my leg, but stick it through there. Now I need to not pull on it. Right, hold on. This is looking a bit of a mess now. Let's see. I can't even pull it back through, can I? We just this is fun. Just what I had planned for a video, not. I'm going to have to take that out. I'm going to need the other needle again. I can't even get that out of there, can I? I should have pulled it through the fabric first. Now I've made the knot like twice the size it should be. It's going to be awkward. Pull that out of there for a start. No, don't do that. Oh my gosh. Thing is, if I pull that, let me see if I can get it out. No, what a surprise. It's going to knot that, and I'm going to have to try and get that out. Yep, I've got a tiny knot now that I'm not going to get undone. See, look how tiny that is. Gutted. Let's see if I can work with it. It is quite tiny. Kind of. If you pull it quite quick, it works. Eventually it's going to get to where it's in this fabric. Sorry you can hear it pulling through, but no. Come on. Yeah, there we go. Right, it's close to the bottom now. So eventually it's going to catch on the back side, right? Hopefully it's not stuck in the front, whereas it's right there now, that knot. So it's very close. Yeah, there we go. Now it's got caught up. So now we don't have a knot. There we go. I think this one is going to work up so quickly. So just pull it through there. Loosen it a little. Put it through the fabric. And we're going to leave it there. Oh, there it is. we're going to leave it there for today. You will be seeing this one quite regularly because I need to get it done. I've also got another elephant and mouse one to, no, rabbit. An elephant and rabbit one to do. Reese's girlfriend has asked me to do one for her mum, for her other daughter. So I've said, of course. So I've got that to do as well. So that's as much as we got done today. All that blue. That's not actually bad for half an hour. This is what I like about bulk, not bulk, block. Began with a B, didn't it? The block stitching. I can just work away at it while watching TV. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching and stitching along with me, or crafting along with me, if that's what you did. I appreciate you all. Just the usual. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.